Now, let us just look at the broad categories that we can divide this surah into, or let's say the themes that we find within the surah, and there are about 5 or 6. The first major theme of Surah Yasin is that Iman bil Ba'ath wan Nashr. It is the firm conviction in the resurrection after death, and also the herding of creation from their graves to a grand plain called the Mawqif, where we will be questioned and judged by the one who is most gracious, most merciful. We will be judged on the basis of rahmah, because Allah Ta'ala tells us before He reminds us, I am Maliki Yawmiddin, I am owner of the day of Deen, which means Dain, recompense, that He is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. And in that spirit, we'll be judged, yes, but we'll be judged on the basis of mercy and compassion. So the first theme of the surah is that faith in the resurrection and faith in the nashr, the herding. The second amazing and beautiful theme in the surah is what we call Qissatu Ahl Qaryah, a narration, a story of a group of people from a little village said to be Antakya, more or less in Turkey. And this story will tell us about the awliya, about a martyr, and what their experience is. It's a fascinating story, and we'll get there later on. The third theme in the surah is the clear proofs of the Qudrah, the omnipotence, the power of Allah Ta'ala, and His will, His Mashi'ah, or His Irada, and also His Wahdaniyah, His complete uniqueness and independence of core creation, which pervades the surah. As for the fourth theme in the surah, it is a comfort for the Prophet, peace be upon him, because he lost his wife Khadija alayha salam, he lost his uncle Abu Talib, he lost many people around him, he had people dying around him, children, family, friends, to the point where they would place them in the desert and let their heads sit in the hot sun and pour honey on their heads so that ants and birds could come and peck on them. They would place rocks on their bodies like they did with Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and they would succumb to severe torture. And he had to witness all of this happening. All he said to them was say La ilaha illallah, that Allah is one and no one else should be worshipped. So our point is, for us to connect to the surah and engage the surah best, we need to try and put ourselves in his position and ask ourselves, how would we have coped? We learn from this before engaging the surah that being a prophet is not an easy job. It's a tough job. Prophets, they lose their homes, they lose their families, they are rejected, bounties are put on their heads, there's attempts on their lives. So it's a very difficult situation to be a prophet. Then the surah takes us on a journey through the earth, the ard and the sama, and tells us, draws our attention to the crops, the various vegetation, the rain coming down, and asks us, will you not be grateful? Will you not be thankful for these things that we have blessed you with? So there are various dimensions and angles of spiritual upliftment contained within the surah. One of what the Mufassirin call the foundational principles in the surah, they call it the Mawdu' al-Asasi, and that is basically the Ba'ath, the resurrection which the surah emphasizes, and the Jaza, the reward that it comes with. Whether it is a recompense of bad or good, it is mentioned in the surah in detail. So there's a focus on death here, and it is said that death gives meaning to life, because without death, we would have no limits and nothing to work toward. Just to end off our first session, there is a beautiful hadith in which the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna kulli shay'in qalb, that verily every single thing has a heart. Wa qalb al-Qur'an Yasin, and the heart of this Qur'an is Yasin. وَدَّأْتُ أَنَّهَا في قلب كل إنسان من أمتي. It is my deepest wish that this surah would be preserved in the heart of every human being from within my ummah. And our journey through Surah Yasin here, this commentary, will be our way of preserving the meanings and the lessons contained within this amazing and beautiful surah.